Dengar.
Ini kedengeran?
Dengar.
Dengar tapi dikit.
Din, kok punyamu gitu? Kayak ada ini. Ada istana-istananya tuh. Iya. Nggak care. Ada masalah apa?
Guys, ini emang ada suara dret-dret gitu po?
Nggak tahu.
Apa
Nih.
iki ku yo? Sek.
Coba Rin, kamu kirim ke aku. Ntar aku coba share screen.
Apa nih?
Aku tuh nggak ada neneng gitu.
Teneneneng endi terus aku. Aku iki nggak teneneneng sing.
Hasil coming.
Loh, maksudnya nggak ada back sound-nya?
Oh.
Loh, aku dengar, Mas.
Iya, aku dengar soalnya, cuman yo kadang
Bukan. Ini punyanya Mas Joshua yang share screen, bukan punya aku.
Oh, wow. Sek apa
Jadi
ini
aku minta
ya?
ke sendiri.
Lagi lu ngerti apa ya?
Gunung.
Saya tahu. Berarti aku ngirim kamu apa ya?
Dari kamu, Ros, suaranya.
Oh, dari aku. Bentar.
Deket paling Loh, berarti Ros aku ngirim kamu welcoming video ini lewat WhatsApp. Apa ya, apa?
Iku nek Google Drive kan gak?
Admit yang masuk nih. Apa, Ros?
Itu wah, di Google Drive ada kan?
Bilang apa sih anjir? Aduh. Iya, yang dari Google Drive My Webinar udah kamu download.
Marah.
Ini siapa sih device yang error? Diingat ya teman-teman operator. Terus admit peserta juga. Thank you.
Dulu kata-katanya gimana, Dek? Yang awal.
Ini belum ada yang share screen. Guys,
Gimana, Dok?
ini nggak ada yang share screen.
Putus-putus suaranya.
Ini nggak ada yang share screen, Bo.
Itu
Nah,
Dini,
ya,
kamu tadi sertifnya kayaknya ada yang typo deh.
yang nomor berapa?
Yang paling terakhir, nomornya doang typo.
Oh, oke, nanti aku.
Nanti cek lagi ya. Loh, kok aku jadi host? Weh, kurang ngajar kok aku jadi host sih.
Benar. Laptopku mati di situ. Gi, are you there?
Anggi, device-mu yang error nih. Aduh.
Gi, are you there?
Saya.
Suaranya nggak masuk nih. Kayak robot.
Colokan.
Colokannya kurang pakem. Udah lah, mute dulu ya, Nggi. Ini teman-teman PI sudah lengkap belum ya? Wait. Madina, Hisana, Farida, Kafi. Oh, Gresika belum. Ada yang mau masuk nih, operator. ACC.
Sudah.
Oke. Duh, kuat. Bandwidthku songong. Coba kalau nggak pakai splitter, Nggi. Jadi cuma headphone doang yang mancep. Coba deh. Coba dulu, coba.
Gimana? Tes.
Better, Beb. Better.
Masuk nih.
Oke.
Kayak gini aja udah nanti. Oke, mantap.
Alright.
Oke, teman-teman PIC, let me check first. Nadina, Lintang, sama Lisa ada. PIC 8 ya ada. Bersika, Hisana, Farida, Afi. Oke. I think that's all. Lengkap udah. Cong.
Oke.
Corona anjir.
Enggak.
Ada kita jangan. Aku buka dulu deh ya sebelum kita mulai. Oke, teman-teman, selamat malam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat datang di simulasi kita yang kedua dan maaf banget kita jadi mulai jam 8, tapi insya Allah kalau kita lancar paling jam 9 nanti kita usahain dari teman-teman panitia udah selesai karena ini juga udah mulai masuk minggu UTS kan. Jadi udah nggak perlu lama-lama lagi. Aku cuma mau ngingetin buat simulasi ini. Yang kemarin evaluasi kalian pasti udah inget sendiri-sendiri kan kekurangannya apa, terus yang harus diperbaikin apa, and then apalagi ya. I think that's all. Dan aku minta fokus dulu buat sejam ke depan atau enggak mungkin bagian kalian setengah jam ke depan, mungkin setengah jamnya akan ada evaluasi. Dan good luck. Dasi dari aku. Gimana Kak Din? Ada yang mau ditambah dikit?
Udah sih, langsung aja mulai.
Oke, baiklah. Ini operator udah ya, nggak jadi welcome. Ini welcome-nya karena Dini udah mau masuk, jadi di stop share screen dulu ya.
Oke.
Oke, aku mulai ya.
Bentar, Mas Nando, udah siap timekeeper-nya? Udah, berarti dia ngurusin live streaming. Jadi ntar ganti aku aja. Oke, Din, time is yours.
Oke, bismillah. Ladies and gentlemen, please find the most comfortable place and position because in 5 minutes, the event talk will be started. The honored guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, and Salam Kebajikan. Welcome to the 6th event talk with the topic Indonesian Culture Dynamics in the 21st Century, organized by the Group 4 of MICE Management A, with me, Dini Widiasuti, as the MC in this special event. First of all, let us thank God who has given grace for us so we can participate in this event without any obstacles. This event is also broadcast live on YouTube, on English as Rhythm channel, and the link has been shared on WhatsApp group. And I also want to greet the YouTube viewers. Hello YouTube viewers. For your information, today's event will be translated into Bahasa in the chat box by our translator, Miss Arinda. Our next agenda is to sing the national anthem Indonesia Raya. All participants are expected to sit in the appropriate position. Thank you, Mas Joshua. It is an honor to me to inform you that among us here we have Ms. Eka Mongkare as the official representative of Indonesia Tourism Marketing and founder of House of Indonesia. Because Indonesia and France have 5 hours time differences. So good morning, Ms. Eka. And we have Ms. Yohana Ika Hanegasari as the head of Diploma 3 of English Study Program Vocational College Universitas Gadjah Mada. We also have Ms. Dewi Cahya Ambarwati as the lecturer of MICE Management and Promote of Indonesian Culture class. And we have PIC groups from Group 7 and 8 from students of Bachelor of Applied English Universitas Gadjah Mada as the speakers. Also, we have Miss Arinda as the translator. She will be translating English into Indonesia in the chat column. And all participants will take part in this event, including Zoom participants and YouTube participants. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this event by praying first. So the event we will hold on this day will run well without any obstacle at all. Pray based on individual belief begins. Done. Ladies and gentlemen, on this nice occasion, let me deliver the structure of the event today. As follows: first, opening. Second, welcoming speech by Ms. Yohana. Third, presentation session from Ms. Eka with the topic Challenges and Opportunities in Promoting Indonesian Cultural Products, and followed by Q&A session. And fourth, we have first photo session. Next, we have PIC's group presentation with the topic The Government Store of Sugriwa Subali and Solo Batik Fashion Online Show 2020. And we have second photo session, and the last we have closing. Before we start, let me read about the rules of this event. Participants are expected to mute the microphone and turn on the camera. Participants may ask questions in the Q&A session by turn on the microphone or type the question on chat column. Alright, we are going to the next agenda. The head of Diploma 3 English program will be delivering the welcoming speech. Miss Johanna, you might take the floor. Thank you very much, Miss. It was delightful welcoming speech. Everyone, we will enter the presentation session from Miss Eka with the topic Challenges and Opportunities in Promoting Indonesia's Cultural Product that will be led by Miss Anggi. She is student of English Diploma Program UGM. Miss Anggi, time is yours.
Thank you, Miss Dini. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning for audience who are come from France. First of all, I am Anggi Triana, and I will be responsible to be your moderator for this discussion session. And I proudly announce to you all that here we have Miss Eka Munkari as our guest speaker today. Before that, let me read our guest speaker's background. Miss Eka is an official representative of Indonesia Tourism Marketing and also the founder of House of Indonesia Paris in France. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Eka will present about challenges versus opportunities in promoting Indonesian cultural products. So, please welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Eka. You might take the floor. Ms. Eka presentation. Wow, okay. Thank you, Ms. Eka. Such a great and amazing presentation, isn't it? From this presentation, I took a lot of lessons and your process in becoming an official representative of Indonesia tourism marketing in France. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is Q&A session. So please kindly drop your question first at the chat box and then select a few questions for Ms. Eka first. Q&A session. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your participation in the Q&A session. And our discussion with Ms. Eka has ended. Thanks to Ms. Eka for the time and interesting presentation. We are all happy to have you here with us. Before that, we will have a joint photo session that will be guided by our MC. Please, Ms. Dini, you might take the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Anggi. It was an interesting discussion from Ms. Eka. We know you are a very busy person. Thank you for taking time to come here. Then, we are going to have the first photo session, so participants may turn on the camera. The committee will capture us to time, okay? 1, 2, 3, smile. Once more. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you. So we will move to the next presentation with our speakers, the IC Group 7 and 8, with the topic Government's Role of Subri Wasubali and Solo Batik Fashion Online Show 2020. This session will be led by Ms. Anggi. Ms. Anggi, you might take the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Dini. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our PIC Group 7 speakers. There are Miss Farida, Mr. Kavi, Miss Hisana, and Miss Grasika with their topic about the government's role of Sugriwa Subali. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our speaker and PIC Group 7. You might take the floor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are from Group PIC7. We'll deliver our material about the role of government of Sugriwa Subali Kalsal. But before starting our presentation, let me introduce our group members. The first member is Grasika Putri Marela. The second is Hisana Fikra Hanifah. The third is me, Istifarida Ramadhani, and the last is Kavi Dewanda. So now let's start our presentation.
The first, we're going to discuss about the definition of art. Art is a diverse range of human activities involving the creation of visual, auditory, or performing artworks, which express the creator's imagination, conceptual ideas, or technical skill, intended to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. In the most general form, these activities include the production of arts, the criticism of art, the study of the history of art, and the aesthetic dissemination of art. Next, please. Here, we're going to discuss more about Sugriwa Subali, which included as performance art. Sugriwa Subali Kalsal is a dance that is aimed to show the story of Kiskindu Cave. The story tells of Sugriwa Subali, two siblings in the form of a half-ape human being who defeated Mahisasura and Lembusura, a human with a cow head in the Kiskindu kingdom on earth. Mahisasura and Lembusura disturbed the Kayangan peace and Batara Indra's daughter named Devitara. Then Sugriwa and Subali helped the fairies. They reached and won over the cattleman. Then they came out by breaking the mountain, and that's how Kiskindu Cave was created. Next, please. The history. So first, several villages in Kulon Progo Regency already have their respective arts. Then Mr. Gasuk wants Jatimulyo village to have different art, but has a legend about the history of Kiskindu Cave. So there is an accumulation between culture, tourism, localism, and cultural heritage. Furthermore, this was realized with the community into Sugriwa Subali's colossal art. The story of Kiskindu Cave is told from a community legend from generation to generation, and then inscribed in reliefs in Kiskindu Cave. In 2015, with a plan to make Yogyakarta International Airport, Kulon Progo Regency also want to make something different, especially in this inconsistent area because this road will be bypassed. Kulon Progo Regency and Yogyakarta province agreed to make the colossal Sugriwa Subali dance supported by the local village government. Next, please. As you can see on the screen, this is how the Kiskindu Cave looks like. It's located in Kulon Progo, Yogyakarta. There are also some photos about how Sugriwa Subali performance show. And the next slide will be presented by Hisana. Hisana, time is yours.
Thank you, Grasika. Next slide, please. Nowadays, Pak Gasuk assumed that Sugriwa Subali still belongs to Jatimulyo village, although many dance groups already have danced it. It is due to its history also. Next slide, please. Tes. In 2014 until 2016, the training was held by Dancer by ISI Yogyakarta. It is contained of 100 dancers, 30 musical instrument players, and approximately 20 crews. At first, it used professional dancers to 6 main characters. Then, the dancers came from surrounding community. It is the government program trained them. Then, with the help of special funds, people can practice. Next, please. In 1 year, performances are held once in a month. Then it becomes 3 and 4 once in 3 and 4 months, then it finally stops. According to Pak Gasuk, this is because for a while this Kolosal still relies on tourism funds. The government hopes that it will become an independent activity every 3 or 4 months. With encouragement from Mr. Joko Mursito, the head of the Yogyakarta Tourism Office currently, it is planned that Kolosal Sugriwa Subali will be held again on October 18, 2020. And the funding itself from people of Jatimulyo village as an effort to be independent. Next slide, please. This is a documentation of exercises and performances. It is held on Jatimulyo village, Yogyakarta. Next slide will be presented by Isti Farida. Isti, the time is yours.
Thank you, Hisana. And the next slide is, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. At first, this colossal use of property and media from the Kulon Progo Media Center until the fourth stage, but after that, the property and media came from the people of Jatimulyo village themselves by making their own innovations. During the leadership of Mr. Anam Suchandra, all artists in Jatimulyo village were found to make properties that came from material that were indeed found in Jatimulyo village. Next slide, please. To promote this colossal art, they make use of promotion through television media, newspapers media that came to the show, social media belonging to the district, provincial, Jatimulyo village governments, and the audience who disseminate it through their social media. Next slide, please. Thank you. Next is the role and support of the government. The government itself has issued a policy to develop the arts. The national government has issued regulation, namely Law of the Republic of Indonesia, number 5 of 2017 concerning the advancement of culture. And the local government has issued regulation of special region of Yogyakarta of 2015 concerning culture. In the article 12 states that the cultural preservation policy is carried out through improving the quality and standardization of human resources in the field of culture and improving the quality and standardization of infrastructure and cultural advice. The next slide, please. Thank you. In relation to the development of the colossal art of Sugriwa Subali, government support and contribution in the form of first, economic support from the special region of Yogyakarta Government Tourism Office. Second, serving as a guide, booster, encouragement, and inspiring to the human resources of the people of Jatimulyo village about culture. And the last is energy sources for structuring support for facilities such as the creation of a cultural field called the Kiskendok Cave Amphitheater by the special region of Yogyakarta government, which built and the maintenance was carried out by the Kulon Progo government. Thank you. And the next slide will be presented by Kafi. Kafi, the time is yours.
Thank you, Farida. And as we did an interviewee of the member of the organization, he said that there are 4 obstacles. The first one is loyalty, the second one is responsibility, the third one is administration, and the last one is performance. The loyalty member is still a big problem in this organization because some members do not join this organization wholeheartedly. Therefore, if a big event is going to be held, such as a dance show, then the leadership of the organization does not arbitrarily choose its member. And the second one is responsibility. Not all members of the organization have a large enough sense of responsibility to participate in organization events. Like when they are participating when they are participating, not all participants take parts in the rehearsal. And the third one is administration. Administration is the financial sector in this Administration in the financial sector is still a problem in the organization because there's nothing that makes money in the organization other than the source of the funds from the government. And the last one is performance. Some members do not have sufficient performance to hold certain events, and some of them are bad in time management. Next slide, please. The next slide is about analysis of CL, creativity, innovation, entrepreneur, and leadership. Creativity in making costume and properties for the show. In making costume and properties for the show, which previously used costume and props from the Kulon Progo Media Center, the community began to make their own costume and properties using material that were available in Jatimulya village. The second one is innovation. In the midst of pandemic condition, the show of Sugriwa Subali Colossal Art hasn't yet had an online show. In the current pandemic condition, the colossal show of Sugriwa Subali has not yet made an innovative online show. They are still performing offline while still paying attention to health protocols according to the direction of the local government. Next slide, please. The third one is entrepreneur. This performance is expected to be a source of independent income for the community. In an effort to generate economic benefits, this colossal art of Sugriwa Subali benefits from tourist destinations that already have visitors. The show itself was held in the Kiskindo Cave, which had already become a tourist destination. This performance is also expected to be a source of independent income for the community and Jatimulya village. The fourth one is leadership. The idea behind this was initiated by a resource person who was followed up by the region of Kulon Progo. In terms of leadership of the flow, the governance of the show is carried out jointly by people of Jatimulya village. In terms of leadership of driving, the governance of the show is carried out jointly by the people of Jatimulya village. Next slide, please. Conclusion. Organization began to develop rapidly after the role of the government, which had provided support in various forms. From a policy perspective, the government has indeed implemented its policies in supporting the organization. Thank you for the attention. That's all from us.
Okay, so thank you so much, PIC Group 7 speakers, for the amazing presentation. Next is a presentation from the speakers of the PIC Group 8. So ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our PIC Group 8 speakers. There are Ms. Lintang, Ms. Madina, and Ms. Lisa with a topic about Solo Batik Fashion Online Show 2020. So please welcome our speaker and PIC Group 8. You may take the floor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good evening, everyone. Hope we are all blessed in every single day. The first, I would like to say thank you very much for attending our presentation. It's great to see you all. I'm Lina Kasiwi Putri. My friend Lisa, Rahim, and Madina would like to present to you about traditional art and online show. Solo Batik Fashion Online Show 2020. Next slide, please. What is batik? What is batik? Batik is both an art and a craft which is becoming more popular and well known in the first as a wonderfully creative medium. The art of decorating cloth is in this way, using wax and dye, has been practiced for centuries. Like the word batik, which literally comes from mabartik, on connecting the dots from the melted wax to form a pattern of motifs. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Screen-nya hitam.
Sorry, ini videonya nggak bisa keputar ya?
Enggak.
Ya udah nanti ininya dilewatin dulu teaser batiknya nanti aku benerin dulu. Oke, next lanjut dulu.
Batik itself, there is a traditional batik. There are also those that have been modified, become modern, and have experienced development both due to time and business. Batik is provided by the public today is batik that has experienced good development in terms of coloring or combination of pattern. Next. So now we move to batik pattern. The first pattern is Sidomulyo. This batik pattern comes from Surakarta, Central Java. This is a typical old Surakarta pattern, delicate, complex, and requires patience and diligence in its manufacture. Sido in Javanese means to be or to continue, while Mulyo means noble. The batik clothes with the Sido Mulyo pattern is commonly worn by brides, both men and women, at marriage ceremonies in the hope that one day the family that is fostered will continue to get glory. The second pattern is Chwiri. Chwiri pattern batik is usually used during Mithoni event, a traditional to commemorate the 7 months of a baby who is still in the womb. In addition, Chwiri batik is also used to carry babies. This batik is also used for semekan and kemben. Chwiri means small. It is hoped that the wearer looks appropriate, harmonious, and represented by the community. The Chwiri batiks come from Surakarta and Yogyakarta. The next slide will be presented by Lisa. Lisa, time is yours.
Thank you, Lintang. Let's continue to the next pattern. The next pattern is Sekar Jagat. The Sekar Jagat pattern actually originates from the Yogyakarta and Solo areas. The word kar in Dutch means map, while Jagat comes from Japanese, which means wool. The essence of the meaning conveyed by the Sekar Jagat is the diversity both found in Indonesia and throughout the world. Then this batik also displays the meaning of beauty that there is fascinate anyone who sees it. Next, please. The next pattern is Truntum. Historically, the Truntum batik was created by Kanjeng Ratu Kencana or Permaisuri Sunan Pakubuwana III from Surakarta, Hadiningrat, which means love that grows back. She created this pattern as a symbol of love that is sincere, without conditions, eternal, and the more fertile it grows. The last but not least is the next slide, please. The last but not least is Parang Barong. This pattern was created by Sultan Agung Hanyakrokusuma, who wanted to express the experience of his soul as a king with all his duties and his awareness as a small human being before the Creator. The word barong means something big, and this is reflected in the size of the motif on the fabric. The Parang Dimaj Barong pattern is the parent of all Parang patterns. This pattern means that the king is always careful and can control himself. The next slide will be presented by Madina. Madina, time is yours.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Let's move to Solo Batik fashion. What is this? Next, please. Solo Batik Fashion, or SBF, is an annual fashion show held in Solo, usually in October. This year, the live broadcast show SBF was held with the theme Pesona Batik Nusantara. Solo Batik Fashion presented the diversity of Indonesian batik by presenting the works of designers from outside Solo, such as Jakarta, Semarang, Jogja, and Batam, which are displayed in the form of ready-to-wear batik. This live broadcast show is also enjoyed by the audience from Canada, Suriname, Netherlands, and Finland. It is hoped that the nation's batik works can advance and develop not only in the regional or national circles, but also internationally, and of course, preserving the noble reserve of the Indonesian nation's traditions. Besides improving the quality of domestic products and making Solo as the great capital batik world. Next, please. As you can see, in the left side is Yoyo Prasetyo with his work Picnic. At the right side is Diani Rahayu Ikasari with Camila Katulistiwa. Next, please. In the left side is Owens Joe with Sekar Kedaton, and also Joko SSP at the right side with his masterpiece, Bali Desire. Next, please. Show director SPF 2020 from NF Pro Bakamainov. This year's SPF event is packaged in edutainment or education and entertainment. Its educational value can be seen from the various styles of batik clothing that will be displayed with the influence of each region. Meanwhile, the entertainment will involve dancers, singers, and models. Next, please. So this is the CIEL analyze. Creativity. The designers were combining traditional batik clothes with modern fashion. The next one is innovation. Solo Batik Fashion 2020 was held via live streaming for the first time. Next is entrepreneurship. Solo Batik Fashion 2020 were empowering designers and small and medium enterprises in this pandemic. Last but not least is leadership. According to Joko SSP as the chairman of the committee of SBF 2020, the success of a team can be realized by gotong royong or communal work of all members. Next, please. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, PIC Group 8 speakers for the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, from the two group presentation, both of them tell us that all elements are trying to adapt to the condition during this pandemic. Okay, because our moderator has technical issues, I will let the Q&A session. The next agenda is a Q&A session related to the two topics presented by our PIC group. I kindly invite you to drop your question via chat box. Thank you. Okay, Q&A session. Okay, thanks to the speakers of the PIC Group 7 and 8 for the opportunity for time and presentation related to promoting culture. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining this discussion session. I will return the next session to our MC. Okay, thank you. It was great presentation from PIC 7 and 8. Thank you for sharing with us. Last but not least, we are going to have the second photo session. So participants may turn on the camera. Okay, the committee will capture us 2 times. First, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, once again. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you very much. Now we are in the closing session. Don't forget to check the chat column to fill the evaluation form of the term of e-certificate. Thank you for joining us in this 6th event talk. It has been our pleasure to host this event. I am Dini Widyasati as your MC. Want to say thank you and see you. Okay, you may leave the Zoom.
Oke, udah ya?
Udah.
Give plus dulu dong buat kita semua deh. Good job, good job.
More better, guys.
Bentar. Yuk. Anggi masih belum join?
Masih belum.
Ya udah deh, langsung aja. Oke guys, thank you buat semuanya. Ini aku udah unmute kan, oh ya udah. Mungkin sekarang udah 20.43 karena aku tadi ingin banget menepati janji jam 9 kelar. Aku langsung aja ya ke evaluasi kita semua. Oke, ini mau yang kayak kemarin, kalian bilang dulu satu-satu atau aku langsung ngomong aja nih. Gimana Kak Dini?
Aku sadar diri aja deh. Kalau yang aku.
Ya.
Aku tadi